is up, Sportskeeda, YouTube, and KliqpodGaming Nation? As always, thank you for joining me, your boy JG, back with another Tuesday Night Smackdown review. With that being said, I know you guys are curious to wonder what I thought about tonight's show. It's the go-home show leading up to Hell in a Cell. For a go-home show, was it bad? Nah, for a go-home show, it wasn't bad at all, man. Was it great? No, it wasn't great at all. And I won't even feed that to you. To be honest, I absolutely hated the main event. But I don't feel the main event was enough to mess up the rest of the show. But with that being said, as you guys can see, I am excited because this is our second video for Sportskeeda. And thank you guys so much for being for helping us get to this level in life, man. It really feels good. Feels like we're doing really big things, and we're only going to keep growing from here. And I got to thank all of you guys out there, because if it wasn't for you guys, none of this right here would be possible. But with that being said, let's not waste any more time. Let's hop into the intro so we can get to the review. What is up, guys? I'm super excited. If you guys can't tell, this is our second video on Sportskeeda. First one technically isn't even up yet. Me and Dean and their technical staff are working behind the scenes. I guess there were some problems with the video, so they're trying to figure out and get it uploaded. Hopefully this one will get straight uploaded. So fingers crossed, guys, because I really want you guys to see last night's video. Personally, I thought it was one of my best reviews yet. With that being said, we're only going to get better, because now that we do have this new platform and a new avenue, it's going to allow me to suppress, I want to say, some of that anger that I have with Raw, with Roman Reigns, more specifically, the agenda itself, and explain it to you maybe without so many emotions. Now, don't get me wrong, there will be emotions. You will see the longer intros at different points. So that will be seen down the road again. It's just for right now on the new platform, I kind of just want to stick to the show itself. And we'll break it down where we need to. As far as the Roman agenda for this exact moment, I'm going to kind of ignore it. I already feel Braun's going to get cheated out of the Money in the Bank. You can go back to past reviews. Since he won it, and Roman won, since we knew Roman was going to win the title, I already told you this. But with that being said, we're not here to talk about the Roman agenda. That's for Mondays. What we are here to talk about is Smackdown. As I was saying in the intro, was it great? No. Was it bad? No, not at all. It was good for a go-home show. Really, honestly, my main gripe with the show is the main event. And let me break that down to you why it was my gripe. So that's what we're going to kick off today. We're going to do it a little mixed up. I guess today's technically Wednesday. So mixed up Wednesday, let's go. But with that being said, guys, so for me personally, I understand why the WWE brought the Bellas back. And I want to be the first one to make that well aware. Mainstream purposes. You have WWE's first ever all-women's pay-per-view coming out later in October. I think it's October 20-something. I can't think of it off the top of my head while we're doing this, but we know Evolution's right around the corner. I understand you need to get some mainstream fans in, and to do that, you use star power. And I understand. The Bellas are a hit on Total Divas, Bellas. I don't watch it personally. I've never even seen one episode, and I can put that on everything. I've seen every episode of the Miz and Maurice, or Miz and Mrs. so far. Haven't seen one of the other ones. I'm just not into those type of shows. I enjoy the Miz and Maurice, or the Miz and Mrs. because it's actually pretty comical. The Miz is a pretty funny dude. At times, I think they're stuck-up, arrogant pricks, but it's nice to get inside their minds and get inside their worlds. And they're very entertaining. Well, the Miz. So I get it. I understand that it's for mainstream eyes. I understand that it's to get the viewers in. You really want to celebrate this and make this one of the biggest events in the history of professional wrestling, period, because it can do so much and really launch these women so to a higher plateau than they're already on if everything goes great with this. So I understand all that. With that being said, Brie's not a good representation for this. If you want to argue that Nikki is a good fit, fine. I have no problems with that. If you go back and watch last night's review, you go back and watch the week before's. I actually said, man, out of the two, I think Nikki looks like she should be in the ring. I'm not saying she's great, but she's good enough to get a match off. I mean, hell, if I'm having to watch Carmella, I'd much rather watch Nikki in the ring. In the ring, per se, I do think Carmella is a more attractive woman to myself personally, but when we watch wrestling, it really shouldn't be about attraction at all. If it is, that's your thing, but for me, it's not about attraction. It's about what can you do for me in that ring and telling a story and with a promo when you're handed a mic. So, I understand the idea of having the intergender match at Hell in a Cell. I get it. It's just going to help build the hype for Evolution. But with that being said, man, the reason I'm not as harsh on Maryse is Maryse didn't go anywhere. She went somewhere for 5 months because she was giving birth to a baby. You need time off. When you just look at her physically, since having this baby, you could tell she has worked her ass off to get everything back to normal so she can get back to this point where she is currently getting back in the ring, getting back ringside for The Miz, just getting back involved. Brie decided to take her time off for her own reasons. She's been away for a long time. When I personally think Diva era, I think the Bellas. I think they are the face of the Divas era. Nikki, as I was saying before, she could perform in the ring. I don't have a problem with that. Brie, as you can tell, man, I mean, come on. Her match last Monday, absolutely sloppy. When she had the tag match with her sister versus the Riot Squad, super sloppy. There's none of you guys out there that can't tell me she was extremely sloppy in that match. We move on. We move to Tuesday night last week. She kicked Selena Vega in her face on a botch. So that's 2 nights in a row we had 2 botches. When she does things in the ring, nothing looks natural. Nothing just comes across as if she's not trying and she's just, going out there and wrestling. Her sister, things come off, I'm not going to say natural, but they seem more fluid. So, with her botching the last 2 weeks in a row, it's horrible. Her on a mic is just, I'll be honest, man, it's bore-worthy. I want to go to sleep. She's a beautiful face, but that's it. That is absolutely it. Just a beautiful face. And that's not, well, in the WWE, that'll get you as far as you want. So, I mean, no shocker there. So, I mean, realistically, I'm not trying to, hey, man, if you got it, flaunt it. If you can do it, do it. Like, so, hey, all shouts out to you for doing it. It's just me personally, I'm good, man. I think you would hurt Evolution. I think you want Evolution to be the best program it can be. From top to bottom. From your opening match to your final match. You want this to have a WrestleMania feel. You want people to be talking about this 3, 6 months, a year later, talking about how outstanding this was, how they can't wait until the next Evolution pay-per-view. That's how I want to feel. And if you go read Mean Dean's article on Sportskeeda, which is phenomenal. I read it before I hopped on. And so if you guys don't know, Mean Dean, he has his own blog. I don't know what you would call it. His own blog site. It's called Scuttlebutt. My boy was doing big things before he ever came across me. I luckily came across him, and then he took me into the bigger things in life, like this channel and everything else. So he did the article, and he mentions, that it could have a negative impact. And I already thought it before, man. Like, I seen what might be a leaked. Now, everything's subject to change, as always. But yesterday, JD posted on Twitter a leaked copy of somebody putting out there the card for Evolution. If that was the card, no, I will watch half of it and I'm done. Like, no offense. There's no reason I should be watching Ronda Rousey and versus Nikki Bella for the Women's Raw Championship. How does that make sense? How does that make sense? Start a feud with Asuka. Asuka and Ronda would work so well together. There's Sasha Banks. Could you imagine Sasha and Ronda? Tell me, Sasha's not one of the best female workers we have ever seen. If you can't say that, you're lying to yourself. I'm not a huge Sasha fan. I like what she does. I like the way she carries herself. I mean, all around, I love everything about her. But honestly, I push Asuka more than I push Sasha. Asuka. But I still understand that, yes, you need people to tune in. So have the Bellas in matches throughout the card. No problem with that. Don't make them your main event. Give it to Sasha. Because then you're going to have these people leaving that show like, oh my God, what did we see? Dude, I'm going to watch the replay. That's how you get views. People don't want to rewatch something that is crap. And you know a feud with Nikki Bella and Ronda Rousey is going to be crap. You know any match with what we have seen, not going off my bias, but from what we have seen just these last couple of weeks with Brie Bella, can you honestly tell me she's ready for a pay-per-view match of that proportion? Like this Hell in a Cell, that's one thing. But the Women's Evolution pay-per-view, dude, that is going to be major. Major. The WWE has put away its chumpish ways and given its women an all-women's pay-per-view. If this goes right, think about it. Every 3 months, we could see an all-women's pay-per-view. I have no problems with that at all. No problems. What I will have problems with is if we're seeing the Bellas in multiple matches. Like, Nikki, like I said, Nikki, I'm fine in seeing you in matches. I just don't want to see you facing Ronda for the title. That doesn't make any sense to me. That is stupid. All that idea does for me is set your division backwards. Everything these women have worked so hard for to pull themselves away from the divas era to get to the women's revolution. They have come so far. Why set it back with these mistakes? My biggest fear for this Women's Evolution pay-per-view is that Brie's going to botch her match like crazy, so anybody's going to be like, oh, God, that was horrible. And then you're going to close the card with Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey, and people are going to literally look at it afterwards and be like, why did I even watch this? I'm like, even if there's shit I don't want to watch on there, or even if there's crappy things I don't want to watch on there, I have to. I got to make sure you guys know what's going on. It's that simple. But you guys don't have to. And I know a lot of people who love wrestling that would turn it away in a second. In a second, if that was the main event. If they have to keep watching Brie be pushed so hard. Because these are things that turn people off. Okay? Like, I'm pretty sure everybody who listens to this show feels like me. You should be rewarded for the hard work you do and the effort that you put into things. Not for how you look. So, since we already started with that, we're just going to go ahead and cover that match. Nikki Bella won. Zelina Vega goes in. Was it Zelina? Who was it last night? Jesus, hold on. Let me see who it was, guys, last night. That's how fired up I am right now. I'm like, sorry. Maurice goes in, loses. I don't know, guys. That match was tough. The match was really tough, man. I mean, so it starts off with Maurice coming out playing head games with Bree. Bree comes out, calls Maurice a coward. Miz says he thinks. Miz says, you think we're cowards? You think we're cowards? You think Maurice is a coward? Then he builds up Maurice. Says she doesn't deserve. Says Brie Bella doesn't deserve to be in the ring with Maurice. I'm not going to say she doesn't. I'm not going to say she does. Says no one deserves this match, and they try to leave. Match gets started. Nothing really to write home about. It breaks down pretty quick. Miz and DB start tussling. Daniel Bryan start tussling. Daniel gets thrown out the rope into Bree. Bree's hurt. Daniel's concerned about his wife. Don't blame him for 1 second. I'd be concerned about my lady as well. And then Miz proceeds to attack Daniel Bryan. And at this point, Daniel and Bree get the upper hand. They end up leaving Raw in the ring on top, dominating. As they should. You want them to look strong going into Hell in a Cell. I mean, I get it. I understand it. It's just that match part doesn't matter at all. Like, I don't even know why that was the main event. I'm honestly curious. So, I'm one of them guys who, when I'm watching a program, wrestling more specifically, maybe MMA, football, things like that, at different times, I'm curious about what the actual TV viewer numbers are. Because I like to know, hey, is it specifically this segment when people turn things off? Or did they turn it off earlier, turn it back just for this segment? Almost like the Mick Foley winning the title. I was an avid WCW guy. If you guys are new to the channel, please go back and watch our past stuff. There's a lot of talk about that. But even though I was always WCW, I'll never forget Eric Bischoff making the announcement that night that Mick Foley was going to win the title. And my initial thought, sorry, hair in my mouth. My initial thought was, I'm not missing this. So regardless of what WCW had for the main event that night, I was watching Mick Foley win the title. That's kind of how I feel about this. So, I don't know. It's just a bummer, man. Last night could have been I want to stay away from using the word great, but it could have been a very, very good show. Unfortunately, they decided to make that decision at the end to put that as the main event. And I don't know. For me, like I said, Mick Foley was a turn-to moment last night. If we didn't have this channel, all God's honesty, I would have turned away from the programming. I didn't care at all. So now that we've talked for like 20 minutes just about Brie Bella pretty much, let's get to the rest of the review. So last night's Smackdown review kicks off with 11 bell tolls for the September 11th incident. My heart and soul goes out to anybody who lost somebody at that time. Man, that is truly unfortunate. And I couldn't imagine what it would be like. To be honest with you, my daughter's birthday is actually today. Happy birthday to little HG. But I prayed so hard she wanted to be born on September 11th because I just didn't want her to feel that every day she woke up for her birthday. And it's crazy because I actually got quite a few friends whose birthday is September 11th. They were born before the attacks. My daughter wasn't. So I prayed really hard that she wouldn't be born on the 11th and be born on the 12th. So she didn't have to wake up with the negativity, you know, feeling sad. Instead of being a happy day because it's a birthday, everybody remembering the situations that had happened prior. So I can only imagine how hard it must be for you guys who actually lost somebody in these tragic events. I just want to say you guys are absolutely strong. It's hard for me just to lose somebody normally. And it's hard for me not to spite somebody when they've done something to attack me. So my heart goes out to anybody who lost anybody in the tragic, unfortunate events of September 11th. Not only that, man, just stay strong, keep pushing, and reach out if you guys ever need. Man, please never hesitate to leave comments if you guys are ever having a hard day. And this doesn't go for anybody who lost anybody in September 11th. This goes for all you guys out there. If you're ever going through a hard time, you just need somebody to talk to, leave some comments, man. We'll reach out. I've never wanted this channel to be about negativity. Now, if you watch past reviews, yes, there's a ton negative, but it's for the programming itself, not at any of you guys, other than maybe if you guys love Roman, then yeah, I don't love Roman. But, so, excellent way to kick off the show, man. I like that, at least in this moment, we all come together as a country, put away our differences, and we all just remember those we lost. And honestly, this is what makes a nation stronger. It's moments like these that remind me why America is so great. It's hard, man. It's hard because, I mean, that's a really impactful day. But like I said, hearts go out to everybody who had to deal with these unfortunate events. So then we get to the show itself. The show kicks off with Jeff Hardy coming down to the ring. Jeff says there's demons around us, all around us, tempting us, taunting us, tearing us down. Demons will always be around. And the only way to cleanse a demon is the only way to take care of a demon is to cleanse them head on. Like this. I mean, the way he started this out, I was captivated, man. He had me intrigued. I was listening. I was ears wide open like, Jesus, this is good. Proceeds to say, and this Sunday, he will face his most venomous demon he will take on in the form of a serpent. Absolutely love this description, man. He is dropping Bible references referring to Randy Orton. Absolutely love it. I'm not one of those people who's like, I don't need no Bible. Bible's one of the best books ever to read. I don't care if you believe it or not. It is a great book just to read. And you don't have to take anything away from it. Just think of it as a story if you want. But I absolutely love the way he started this all out. And it just hit so home with me because I've been through so much in my life, personally. So, I mean, this for me just hit me right on the head. So that might have been another part of the bias on why I was so intrigued when this portion hit. And so he says this Sunday, he will confront him. This person's version of paradise is inside the Hell in a Cell. Randy Orton may think he may inflict a lot of pain on Jeff, but no one has inflicted more pain on Jeff Hardy than himself. You can't destroy somebody who's fallen so many times and gotten up so many times. And I bet a lot of you guys are out there thinking the same way I did when you watched this segment. Like, damn, it hit home with you guys too. Because, like Jeff Hardy, I mess up a lot. And I always teach my kids, it's not about falling. Everybody falls. We all fall a different amount of times. Some may fall once, some may fall 1,000,000 times. That's not what matters. That's not what people remember. What people remember is how you get up and respond to that situation. Do you give up? Or do you come back stronger and push even harder? And, God, that was such a good way to start the show, man. So Jeff Hardy, sorry. God, man, it's just, when I rethink that segment, it's flooding back. Just It's one of them seconds. So Jeff Hardy proceeds to explain that Randy Orton is a demon, but has he forgotten that Jeff Hardy is a daredevil? Jeff Hardy is literally prepared for this in his entire life. Sunday, he will unleash all of his pain, his suffering, his torment upon Randy. But tonight, first, he has to cleanse a demon from his past. And that demon's name? Shinsuke Nakamura. So, you know, with me, with my biased self, I'm like, oh, cool, we're going to watch Shinsuke. Dude, so I'm getting Shinsuke and Jeff, which I haven't even seen Shinsuke on TV in a while, feels like. Not only that, we haven't seen this in a minute. So it did kind of have a fresh feel to me, even though I know we've seen this within the last 2 months. It did have still a fresh feel to me. So Shinsuke comes down to the ring. We get the match started. Jeff comes out on fire. Hits him with the jawbreaker, man. Then hits him with the running sliding kick out of the ring. Then he flips himself at Knock. Absolutely love this, man. Thought it was an excellent way to go. We get the commercial break. We come back from commercial break. Knock is sitting there working on Jeff, just grinding Jeff, slowing him down. So Jeff can't use that high-flying ability anymore. Instead, he's more grounded to the mat, which is going to give an advantage to Shinsuke Nakamura. So genius tactic and way to perform just coming off the bat. Like, great job. Great game plan going into this, Knock. Unfortunately, this doesn't pay off for the longest. Jeff is Jeff, man. You can't keep this guy down. So Hardy blocks. At one point, Hardy blocks a kick. But Shinsuke hits him with a quick counter. Goes for the running knees to the corner. Jeff comes out of the corner, hits his version of a sling blade. At this moment, I actually thought he was going to be able to capitalize, but he doesn't. Shinsuke reverses fortunes real quick, gets him on that top turnbuckle, and hits him with goes and hits him with the running knee. Jeff's down on the ground. Shinsuke, I forget what he goes for, but he attempts something. Jeff counters it, hits him with the hits him with the twist of fate, climbs up to the top rope like he's going to hit the swanton. At this point, we see Randy Orton come out of nowhere, push Jeff off. Jeff lands on the rope, falls. So Jeff wins by DK decision, or DQ, over Shinsuke Nakamura. But Randy begins to just pound Jeff's head, just throwing his head back into the steps repeatedly. Gets up, grabs a chair, props him in the ring, set to use the chair on him. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the opportunity. Jeff Hardy takes advantage, gets hold of the chair, and beats the shit out of Randy with the chair. Hits him with the twist of fate, swanton. So as we move closer, as we go into Hell in a Cell, Jeff Hardy is looking very strong as we go in. Past 2 weeks in a row, he's completely demolished Randy Orton. If I was to have to make my pick right this moment with no bias and no heart included, I would pick Jeff Hardy victorious in this because of the way that he's came off these last 2 weeks. But with that being said, we are not doing the prediction video until tomorrow. With that, I will save that pick because you guys know me, man. I love Randy, so. And I love this Randy. I love him. I love him, guys. I love him. So excellent job by these guys. Then we get a quick segment with Miz and Maurice. She's asked about tonight's match with Brie. Of course, Maurice does her thing. Talks about how she's not even worthy. How she should not be in the ring with her. She's not competition. She is Brie. So, look. If Miz and Maurice are touching it, I'll probably watch it because a lot of the shit they do right now is just absolute fire, man. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, I don't care how you feel about the Miz. I'm not the biggest Miz fan. Give that dude all the respect in the world, and I absolutely love what he is doing right now, inside and outside the ring. Maurice also proceeds to talk about how it took her 5 months, or how it took Daniel Bryan 3 years. It took her 5 months to come back from a baby. But tonight she's going to show her daughter that she's the best by punching Brie Bella in the face. Good shit. Miz asked, Miz is asked what they call Brie and Daniel Bryan. The answer is the yes couple. Miz says it's a marriage of convenience. Says poor old Brie having to come back to work take care of Daniel Bryan, who's out there picking berries, you know, just pretty much describing him as a hippie. Had me chuckling a little bit. Says that if Daniel Bryan thinks he can intimidate Marie, she will slap him in the face. I love it. Miz just standing up for his woman. Excellently done. Then we get an emptied arena segment with AJ Styles talking about Samoa Joe. Mentions how Samoa Joe knows his biggest weakness. And his biggest weakness is his temper. And the biggest thing to set his temper off is when you mention his family. See? But Samoa Joe's biggest strength is being a piece of crap. And this Sunday, he's going to show the world that Samoa is a piece of crap. When he retains his title. Says that he could mention Samoa Joe's family, but he's too good. That's not who he is. He's not going to stoop down to Joe's level. And in 5 days, he's going to show Joe why he is truly phenomenal. And remind him why this is the house that AJ Styles built. And no one's taking that away. Once again, man, like, I'm hyped for this match. I've been hyped. There was a slow point, was it last week or maybe the week before, where it wasn't even really a setback to me. It was just a slower portion to the story. But yeah, I'm ready for this. What I seen at SummerSlam was good. It was really good. I liked the way it was done. I liked the way it was booked. I liked everything about it. But I'm so excited for what we're going to see on Sunday because there's just going to be so much more. And you involve the Hell in a Cell. I cannot wait. Then we get a backstage interview with Charlotte Flair. And she's asked why she chose Sonya. And she said, because she's a competitor. Unlike Becky Lynch, she doesn't back down from a challenge. She takes on all comers. She's a champion. I'm not a huge fan of Charlotte, especially on the mic. But I got to say, I thought this promo was really good. It was short, sweet, and got to the point. We get her go out to the ring. She has a match with Sonya Deville. First thing I want to start this out with is she starts the match with the Gator Roll. Absolutely love this. If you guys are new to the channel, or if you've been around for a while and you just don't know, I love MMA. I love it. So when you throw different elements of MMA into WWE, it gets me going, I guess is the most appropriate way to say what I want to say. So it gets me going. So she starts off the match with the Gator Roll, going back and forth, the headlock, locked up. She's over the top. Oh my God, I loved it. I literally stood up in my apartment and gave Charlotte a round of applause. I was like, yo, if you're working like this, you might go real high in this guy right here's book. Because, yes, I'm not one to deny. Charlotte is great. She's great at what she does. Do I think she's a deserving champion? No. At this time, I think... Becky Lynch is the deserving champion. And sorry, I brought up Asuka with Raw earlier. Let's rewind that. Yeah, that was a scratch. I'm sitting here and I'm like, why did I bring up Asuka on Raw? Like, it just finally clicked in. So, yeah, sorry about that part earlier, guys, but... So I like the way this match started. I really liked it. And then we seen what we typically see from a Charlotte match, where she gets beat down until the end, and then at the end, she gets her 2 seconds of fame. Like, what I want to ask is, why does every babyface match have to be like this? What happened in the good old days where we would see some baby asses or baby faces just whipping butt? No ifs, ands, or buts. But now it always seems like, at least with Roman and Charlotte, every match, it's, I'm going to get beat down to the end, hit a couple moves, game, set, match. So, that might have been partially why I was so excited about the Gator Roll to start the match. It shows her dominance. And that's what I want to see from her, because, I mean, realistically, when you're booking something, you want it to still seem... You want to prop up the right people. And going into Sunday's match with Becky Lynch, in my opinion, you would want to make Charlotte look the best you can. So I would have had her come out extremely strong against Sonya Deville. And not only that, I would have probably made it a tag match with Sonya and Liv, had her destroy these two. Like they come out before the match can even kick off. She throws Sonya Deville into something, I don't know, to take her out for a minute. Absolutely destroys Liv, throws her outside the ring, finishes with Sonya. Game, set, match. Let's move towards Hell in a Cell. Charlotte's looking extremely strong. Instead, we get a portion where Sonya bounces off the ropes, hits a sliding knee, which was nice. Very nice. Very nice, Sonya. I don't say a lot of I don't give you a lot of high praise. Very nice. So she hits the sliding kick, 2 count. Then we get a sunset flip reverse to a knee to the knee, the back of the head. Guys, freaking love this part as well. The knee was so good. Damn, it was good. So I was actually getting pretty excited at this point. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, you start me with the gator roll. Now I see this. I'm in tune. I am fired up in this match, guys. Then Charlotte hits the belly-to-back suplex, and she uses this to regain the control over Sonya. She tries to go to the top to hit a moonsault. Sonya gets the knees up. This doesn't stop her. Dude, Sonya gets up from dropping the double knees, throws the flying triangle on Charlotte Flair. I got to say, at this point in the match, I was literally losing my mind. Yo, I've seen a gator roll, some beautiful spots, and then you're going to give me a flying armbar? Let's go, baby! So I was pumped. This is where I came back down to reality. Charlotte Flair picks Sonya up with her one arm. Power bombs her down. I liked it. But to be honest, my first instant thought was Roman Reigns. I just seen this a little while ago with Roman. Like, and if you guys don't know, I don't want to get into that right now. But I mean, bummer. But Charlotte goes ahead, gets on the figure 4, arches it into the figure 8. Sonya taps. Charlotte walks away victorious. Then this is where the fun starts. So while she's victorious, doing her thing after the match, Becky with the braided hair looking amazing. Amazing. But she comes out, I didn't even want to say beats down Charlotte, kicks down Charlotte, constant repeated kicks to the face, the back. Then she throws on the disarmer, walking away laughing while we see Charlotte laid out and crying. Loved it. There were many parts to the match. It's just for me personally, I would have made Charlotte just look more dominant in the match. And I actually think that would have added more to the surprise attack for Becky, because then it may have seemed like Becky, after seeing this match, was intimidated by what Charlotte, like how well Charlotte had performed, so she's trying to get more of an upper hand. Little small details, guys. Then we get the return of Kramer Kingsman. And he's watching the bar in their natural habitat. Now, to set the scene, the bar is just in the back. They're fixing each other, getting ready for their match, looking at little things. And he is literally almost like you're watching a nature show. He's just sitting out. He's just sitting about 15 feet in front of them, looking back and talking about what they're doing, man, and how they're watching them in their natural habitat. I was dying. I don't care what anybody says. Kramer Kingsman is gold. That is freaking financial gold. To be honest, I hope before their match at Hell in a Cell, we get to see a video package of Kramer Kingston and Kofi getting interviewed. That would be so cool, man. Honestly, I think that would pay great tribute as well to the Faces of Foley. The interview where he had all of them on. What do you guys think? You guys think that's a good idea? Can for me? Go ahead and take some time. Drop down to those comments and let me know what's your idea or what you would like to see with the WWE do with Kramer Kingston going forward. Because, like I said, man, I can't deny it. I really enjoyed it. Then we get the match I had been waiting for the entire night. We get Rusev Day versus The Bar, winner Two-Face, The New Day, at Hell in a Cell. New Day's on commentary. Sheamus and Cesaro. I thought they did a great job initially in the early match, keeping Rusev to their corner. For being a guy who loves tag team wrestling, I think that is one of the things, I don't want to say it's missing, but it's not focused on enough. It's truly keeping the guy in your corner, even when he starts to get an advantage on you, doing something real sly or real quick to get him back, get the control back to your corner. So you can keep the fresh, quick tags coming. I loved it. I love the way, like I said, I love how they isolated him too, because they know if somebody's going to beat us, it will probably most likely be Rusev. Why not eliminate the strength, and then we can focus on the weakness? Aiden English gets in, and I got to say, he actually comes in off a blind tag. And when he gets in there, man, he's on fire. He's springing off the ropes, hitting clothesline. And then, dude, so the bar's outside the ring. Rusev is, I'm trying to see how I can. Okay, so here's our rope, right? Here's our rope. And this is the outside of the ring. So the bar's out here. Rusev's are right along the ropes. Aiden's about halfway in the middle of the ring. Looking at him, he shakes his head, springs off the ropes, comes back. Rusev does a back body drop to him. He flies out and takes out the Shield. Once again, man, I was losing my mind. I gotta say, man, I was really enjoying the show. So he does this. I'm losing my freaking mind. I am going nuts. I am so excited. Like, this can't get any better. But it does. It does. So Rusev misses the Mosca kick. Lifts Cesaro, kick to the head, and then he gets the accolade on, but it's broken by Sheamus. So at this point, I'm literally thinking like, damn, this is the end. Rusev Day is not going to pull this out. This sucks. Then we get an uppercut and a double team by the Bar, man. And I love double team moves, but I think the Bar should get more into their repertoire. I think you're going to be a long-lasting tag team. You guys work so well together. Add more move sets together. I think you guys will be ready to roll. And then Rusev gets slammed by Sheamus, gets a 2 count. Sheamus gets up. He's setting up for the bro kick on Rusev. Rusev is groggy, slowly getting up. Then he finally gets to his feet. His brother in arms, Aiden English, pushes him out the way, takes the bro kick. Rusev is able to take this opportunity, uses the Mosca kick, gets the 1, 2, 3. Rusev Day is going to Hell in a Cell to face the New Day. Yes! Thank you, man. Honestly, I thought it was the Bar. Since the comeback, I thought this was the purpose of their comeback, was to really push them. I'm happy the WWE took a step back, and I'll say this often. I'm happy they took a step back, reevaluated the situation, decided the right way to go is with Rusev Day. So I'm looking forward to this match in Hell in a Cell. Hopefully it does not end up on the pre-show. We would love to see this on the actual main card. We're going to see the New Day versus Rusev Day for the WWE Smackdown Tag Team titles of the world. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Like, as we're talking about this, I'm just staying excited because I'm like, damn, should I just go ahead and make the freaking... Should I just go ahead and make our prediction video today? But no, I still want to sit and wait till tomorrow. Get some more clear thoughts. Because right now, it's just a lot of emotions. I don't always like to put my emotions into my thoughts. Because as we all know, it can mess things up. Then we get R-Truth with Carmella. Carmella. Is Carmella going to be his new... Are they like a thing now? Because I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it at all. To be honest with you, I think they look good together. I think their styles work well together. I think I enjoy hearing R-Truth sing his song, but I think with hearing her voice in there, it just makes it a little smoother, a little more enjoyable for you. And then we get Cien Almas with Selena Vega. So we got R-Truth versus Cien Almas, Carmella, and Zelina Vega at ringside. Flying head scissors. Flying head scissors by the Truth. When he did this, initially, I thought he was going to land too low, land on his neck. But he's able to pull it off. Thought it came out well. Dude, Almas hits a cartwheel into the Pele kick. I'm not kidding you. Cartwheel into the Pele kick. This dude is outstanding. If you guys haven't heard our past reviews on him since the day he was brought up to the main roster, I have been extremely high on this man. I know he is a future star. He could be the face of your company as a heel. This dude is great. The work they're putting on, it's nice to see R-Truth back on the show in consistent weeks. I won't lie, after, you know how I felt about last week's segment with him and The Miz, but after listening to JD's video, it actually did change my tune. So went back and rewatched it with a little more excitement, and it was a good match. So that's why sometimes it's just better to wait than just do the review initially. Sometimes you just got too many emotions flowing. But with all that being said, Zelina's trying to get involved. Carmella pulls her down, but when she pulls her down, this distracts R-Truth. He gets rolled up, pinned for the 1, 2, 3. Cien Almas walks away victorious. Absolutely loved it. Then we get an interview with Asuka. And she's asked why she helped Naomi last week. And then Naomi comes in and she's like, yeah, I want to know. Why did you help me? And she says because the Iconics are mean. She hates their accents. Their accents are hard to understand. And then this is where I thought the humor in this whole scene started. You could see the issue with, what's the word I'm looking for here? You could see their issue in their dialogue of communicating due to the language barrier. There we go. Asuka, Naomi's like, yo, girl, you glowing. Or you feel the glow. And I forget what Asuka thinks she said. She's like, oh, I go? She's like, okay, I go. She's like, no, glow. And then Asuka says something. And then Naomi retorts like, oh, you hungry, girl? Let's go get some food. Like, and I won't lie, I was chuckling. I even have wrote down here on the notes that I actually thought this part was funny. So, hey, good job to these girls. It sucks that they're both being wasted. But at the same time, it's kind of nice because everything on the table with us, because that's what we do here at the Kliqpodcast. If the WWE does decide to go the route and get themselves a tag team women's championship, I wouldn't mind seeing in the finals for it, because I figure there should be a tournament between the two shows. Like one show does its own tournament, the other show does its own tournament. The winner of each show faces whichever one wins, obviously takes the title back to their show. But I do think it should be I do think it should be a cross-brand title if we do go this route. But in the finals, I would love to see Naomi and Asuka versus Sasha and Bayley. I think that would be absolutely phenomenal. So, fingers crossed. If they do decide go this route, I hope this is where it goes. And then we get to our main event, which I spent the first 20 minutes of the show talking about, which at this point, honestly, I don't even really want to discuss again. Because after discussing the rest of the show, man, and how good it was to me, I don't want to hit the negative spurn again. I really enjoyed everything up to the main event. I understand the point of the main event, so I'm not holding this against the WWE. Okay, this time, this is your get out of jail free match with me. But at the same time, it did take what I thought could have been a 6 to 8, somewhere in the scale of 6 to 8 show, which is really good, especially for our viewing, because we're tougher on most everybody else. Most everybody else just accepts what we see. There's a select few in the community that really don't put their foot down and make their voice heard. Well, we are one of those few. So, I mean, you could have had a 6 to 8 rated show for me. Instead, it moves to probably, I don't want this match to hurt them too much. So we'll say a 5, which is average, but to us, that's actually a little above average because of how hard our grading scale is. But with that being said, man, I'm hoping for the best for Bree this weekend. Okay, I don't want to leave this on a positive or on a negative note with Bree. What I do want to say is I'm going to believe and I'm going to trust that this Sunday at this pay-per-view, you will be ready. You will bring your B or A game. You will put on a hell of a match along with your husband, Daniel Bryan, The Miz, and his wife, Miss Maurice. I look forward to seeing what you bring to the table, especially what we haven't seen the last few weeks. If you were ever going to put on a match of your life, this should be it, especially leading into Evolution. So, Bree, I hope right now you are in there working with Daniel. We're fine-tuning things with Miz and Maurice, so when we get to Sunday, we don't watch Botchamania. And I'm going to believe you're going to do this because the one thing I know I could say about you without a doubt is I don't think you're a woman who accepts failure or who quits. If anything, I think you're a woman who's very strong, independent, and you work your ass off to try to get to where you want to get in life. That's why you have gotten so far. So with that being said, guys, we're going to leave it on that positive note. I will see you guys tomorrow for our prediction show. I'll see you a little later today with another Madden video. If you're watching this on Sportskeeda, thank you so much for tuning in. Please share. Go check out our Facebook page. That's the our YouTube page. That's the KliqpodJg. Our Facebook page is actually the Outsiders Dash, the KliqpodJg. But please check us out. We're on every platform. Guys, we're growing. We couldn't have done this without any of you guys. You guys are the best ever. And I just can't thank you enough. But like always, guys, please take names, kick ass, and peace.